Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another great week with Teachers that Sparkle. I'm Sherry, one of your teachers that sparkle. My partner in crime, of course, does not do these videos with me each week. She is still figuring out getting ready for back to school and all of the things. So you get stuck with me once again. However, this week I have some good information to share with you. Over the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about wrapping up summer break and getting ready to start the new school year. And y'all, I don't know about where you are specifically, what day teachers start back for back to school staff development, but I'm in Houston and many districts. My daughter's did not start today. She's on the west side, but I'm on the east side, northeast side of Houston. And most of the districts around here got started today. Can you believe that? I was out walking the dog this morning and I saw all the teachers driving. I live about a block away from an elementary school. All the teachers driving into the parking lot. And I was thinking about back in the day when I was in the classroom and thinking about how much excitement I always had for that first day back with all of the staff, because not everybody in the building connected with me through the summer. Now I had my core group of friends and there was a lot of us, but not everybody was in that group. And so it was nice to catch up with people and just see what people did over the summer, how they spent some time rejuvenating and relaxing and all of that great stuff. And then as the principal, of course, it was great to see my staff come back, because I don't know if you know this, but principals work most of the year. Summer is no different. And although we get a little bit of time off, depending upon where you are, it gets a little bit lonely around the building when you're there all by yourself. So it's always great to have people back. So we've been talking about getting ready to go back and how you can set yourself up for success. And today I wanted to talk to you about something that I always feel is super important to keep in mind. And I'm actually incorporating it into the program that my daughter and I are doing From Rookie to Rockstar, because I do think that this is one of the biggest reasons why we start to feel burnout. I saw a post today on a social media page, and it said, people don't get burnt out from hard work. People get burnt out from believing that their hard work doesn't matter. And I really liked that message, because I have to be honest, I may have been feeling a little bit of burnout recently, and it might have been a little bit because I was working hard, and not that I felt like I needed recognition, because that's not what this is about. But I didn't know if people felt the work that I was doing was mattering, if that makes sense. Not my people, not my employees, not my staff, because we saw the work. We saw the progress in our students. But nonetheless, it can be very challenging when you perceive that the people over you do not believe the work that you're doing matters. And that's where burnout comes in. But I do think that overwhelm does play a big part in burnout. And I do think that there's some ways that we can alleviate some of the overwhelm. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. We know that life is going to be stressful for all of our new people. Remember, from Rookie to Rockstar, I can help you. But for all of our new people, you're going to get through this first week and you're going to feel like, holy moly, what did I get myself into? Back to school staff development in and of itself can be extremely overwhelming, because you're getting so much information thrown at you, while in your mind you're thinking, I have to have my room ready. I have to be ready for the first day. I don't have enough time in my day. I don't know what I'm doing from one minute to the next. I get it. It's a real thing. It really, truly is a real thing. But even though we know that there are going to be certain times where the stress levels are going to be higher than others, there's still a way that we can manage that and not feel that overwhelm. And as I mentioned, that's something we put into our program, but I wanted to talk to you about a couple of strategies that you can use to try to keep that overwhelm controlled as best as you can. Now, I want to point out that I truly do believe if you cannot take care of you and you're not 100% within your soul, within your health, within your wealth, within everything you do, you're not going to be able to be 100% to anyone else. So the first thing that I always say is you have to establish some kind of self-care routine. For me, I always came home after that first year of teaching, that dreaded first year I had. I came home and I made sure that I had at least 30 minutes to do a workout. That's what worked for me. It eventually evolved into running and being out on the roads and letting the stress out there. But it didn't start that way. It started small. And I share that with you because you don't have to go from 0 to 60 with your workouts. It could be going for a walk each evening. Now, I did mine alone as much as possible for a reason, not because I didn't want to be with my daughter or my ex-husband. It was because I needed just that quiet time where nobody was around, that I could get the stress out, get the negative energies out, and be able to breathe in some positive. Because if you think a good workout is not free therapy, well, come talk to me, because I can convince you otherwise. But your deal might not be working out. Your deal might be that you need time to reflect and meditate. Maybe you like to read a book for a little bit of time. Maybe there's a friend that you like to talk to on the way home, or you have some kind of ritual with your significant other when you get home. Whatever it is, make sure that you get that into your routine, because you're going to need it. And I promise you, there are going to be days when you're tired, but you're going to have to push through that and do it anyway. And you'll thank yourself for that. Maybe not every day. I always gave myself permission. The week before school started, the week before Christmas break, the week usually after spring break, because I'm in Texas and there's testing, and then the week of the last week of school, that if I did not work out one single day that week, it was okay. I wanted to, but I knew what my week was going to look like. And I knew that I would be more stressed out with myself worrying about not working out than just saying, okay, that's okay. You have permission. 1 week is not going to hurt you. So self-care. Self-care is going to be super important. The other thing that's going to help with your overwhelm is just understanding that you're going to be uncomfortable. Just putting it in your mind, this is going to be a stressful time. This is going to be an uncomfortable time. This is going to be a time where I might not know what I'm doing. Or just the mere fact of this is going to be a time that I'm going to get overwhelmed. And being able to put that in your mind ahead of the actual fact of it happening does something with your brain that kind of lets you go, okay, yep, I'm feeling the overwhelm. I'm feeling uncomfortable. It's okay. I knew this was coming. Let me breathe. And it kind of helps us process things a little bit differently, at least for me and for people I have spoken to. When you just kind of know it's coming, you can start to design your day a little bit different. You can organize your thoughts a little bit different. You can realize, oh, I know me and I don't do well with stress. I might say something I shouldn't say. So when I start to feel overwhelmed, I'm going to just kind of step back a little bit so I don't say something that I'm going to regret later. Whatever it is that you know about yourself. And if you don't know that much about yourself yet, maybe you're right out of college and you're just a young little newbie, and that's okay. But start to think about those situations when you've been in a state of overwhelmingness, so that you can start to figure out, what do I do to help myself during these times? And then what do I not do so I don't get myself in a bigger pickle? And then finally, I just want to share that I think that we all have to remember, the more organized we are, the better planned we are, the better we're going to be in the long run. We will never be able to plan for every single situation that's going to come at us, and we don't have any control over that. But if you know back to school week is going to be very stressful. However, I've already put my room together. I've already got all of my desk area organized. I have my home life to a place where we know what's going on. And I know that this week I want to wake up a little bit earlier so that I have a little extra time to breathe before everything gets started. Maybe, again, you go back to a workout or a walk or just some meditation time. It helps. It's going to help you in the long run because you're going to feel much calmer on the inside. And it's easier to be calm to overwhelm. And let me explain that in a moment, than to go from already stressed and control the overwhelm. So if you're starting at ground zero, I'm calm, I've got my life together, I feel good about it, and things start to happen, you've got a lot of rungs before you get up to the top of that ladder, right? Where you're so overwhelmed you can't perform. But if you're already halfway up the ladder, y'all, you're not going to have very many more steps to go before it's going to blow. And you don't want that. You want to start from that state of zero as best you can. All right, so those are my thoughts for this week. Really think about the overwhelm. Think about how you yourself responds to that overwhelm. Make sure you have some good self-care scheduled for yourself, and then be sure that you are already 2 steps ahead, especially during those super busy times of the year. And even if you're a new teacher and you don't know when the newest times of the year are going to, or the most stressful times of the year are going to happen, it's okay. Ask people. Because here's the one thing, everybody gets permission in their first year of whatever they do. So if you're a first year teacher, you never have a dumb question, right? Because you just don't know. If you're a first year principal, you never have a dumb question because you just don't know. People give you a lot of grace, and that's a good thing. So just keep that in mind, but don't be afraid to ask. All right, have a great rest of your week, and good luck to those of you who are back at school. And if you're not yet, keep cherishing these last few days before you are back and ready to rock and roll.